It's easier than it looks right here, but anytime you're in a hurry, things slow down. All right, I got that out. Well, the finished piece is, you can see that I've got it cut out. And what I've done is I've gone ahead and painted the interior green. I did add like a communication box from here to the, to go from the back to the front. You could add some wires off of it to make it look a little bit better. There would be a big ammunition box, but there's not enough room to put it. So it's not a lot of detail of extra added little things. But there was a, if you look on your instructions, you put a piece of clear plastic and your gun sticks through that. Now, if you still plan on using the clear plastic, I think I'm going to leave mine open so you can see it better, is you would want to put the clear plastic on the inside first before you glue this in place, and then put this in. And it should go right up against it because this is a nice flat area, and you should be able to still see in there. Now, my plastic I got was a little bit fogged, so it would be hard to see in there anyway. If I were going to do it, I would use a nice piece of clear that I already have. Anyway, once you get this all cut out and all painted, oh, there is one thing, other thing I'll add. I'm changing up how the gun's added to it. I have, I'm using some guns that are available from VQ Warbirds. They're full-size guns instead of the tubes they are using. I'm also making a little gun mount. There's several different types of mounts I found in documentation, but I'll make a little gun mount. It will be able, you could be able to drill through it, put a toothpick in there, and make it where it pivots. Okay, but what I've done is I've come in here and I've made another piece that you can pull, that's pulled. And what you're going to do is, let's see if I've got it right here. I've got a piece, it's this piece right here, and what you have to do is you come in here and mark an 1/8 inch up from the base all the way around and cut it out. And like before I've said, is if you've got any webbing, because you're going to cut most of this webbing off when we cut it, because I make them extra tall so we can get most of that off, is you're going to come up an 1/8 from the back here and cut all the way around, and then once that's done, you get this piece right here. Now this, you see the small window on this side, this piece comes in and it overlaps this stringer by about 1/4 inch. So you have to make another notch to allow that to go in place. So I'm going to glue that right there. It gives you a little shelf. And on that shelf, I'm going to put the machine gun with the pivot mount on it. Okay, that allows it to pivot up and down, and to make sure it holds, you may want to take a 1/4 inch piece of balsa and stick it on the inside to make that nice and rigid, and so you can glue this to it, and you can even put a little pin it with like a toothpick. Anyway, so this piece will glue right there, and the gun will mount on it. If you plan on using the glass, you can just put your hole in the glass and insert the gun from there. On the other side, it's the same way. This area will be blank. You slide it in place, mark it from the back, and cut it out. Now, on the plane itself, it has the area here that you're supposed to cut out and put the gun in there. I'm going to take mine and I'm going to cut it off. With the piece I have, you'll be able to trace it and leave that piece if you want. If not, I've made another shelf. This one comes in here. You have to relieve it just for enough for that string on the back side, but it locks right in place on top of the big stringer. Just glue it right there and you have a shelf. Now you do have to clean off the ends just about an 1/8 inch. I've kind of cleaned mine off a little tall, but just an 1/8 inch. You'll cut off just enough that it slides in place. Okay, see, now you have a shelf. Really easy. Here you come in here also with the gun. It would fit right in the middle and it will pivot up and down. Okay, once this is all glued, you're going to take this and put it in the airplane, and it'll be up to you what glue you use to put it in. It's something that you may want to use some epoxy that sets up longer. You just need to test your glue because you will be gluing ABS to ABS. What I'd be afraid of is you could use the tester's glue, but don't use too much of it because you don't want to have a problem with you don't want to have a problem with it melting your parts. I'll put that in backwards again. But that goes right into place, and you see it locks right up. I did come in here and I painted the back side the OD green, so when you glue it up, you don't see any white. But you can see that fits right in place. Once you add the gun, you'll be able to see all the framework in there. One other thing I do have, get this in place. Alright, one other thing I did add, I do have a part pulled for the floor. It will fit between the two formers. I've seen different pictures have two different types of floors. One was a flat and one was a flat and then another elevated. What you need to do is just take this one. I would line the inside with some really lightweight quarter-inch balsa, quarter-inch square balsa, and run a couple stringers to keep it from over time doing any warping. But anyway, all this does is come in and it will slide and be glued between the on the bottom down here. You can see these stringers right here. There's one on each side. It glues between about a quarter-inch off of each stringer on this side and the other side. So it kind of covers up the seam on the bottom. That's where the pilots or the gunners would have walked. Anyway, I'm going to go make sure that I don't have anything else to add to this, and I will be back. Okay guys, here we are. We're going to finish up the video real quick. I was going to show you, I finished up the gun mount. It just, you just have to put this on a drill press and take that piece and lay it in and then drill straight through, and then you have the gun where it will pivot. And then, like I said, you have to mount that to the shelf there. I was going to say, before you install this, you need to go ahead and paint the whole interior there, the interior green. I was able to do an airbrush shooting from inside both ways, and I really, if you take this up around the edges, you won't get any on the outside if you're shooting from this way in and then that other way. I just, like I said, just tape up the outside because I did get just a tad of overspray on the outside. I was able to use some mineral spirits and clean it up without attacking the finish out here. Anyway, I used, to paint this, I used the Model Masters paint directly on the plastic without any problems. I used a lot of the Model Masters. It took, just to do this, the whole cockpit kit, it took 3 bottles, I think these are half-ounce bottles, of the interior green. I don't like the zinc chromate, it's kind of too bright for me, so I used what they call the interior green from Model Masters. I was going to say also, yeah, the guns, the 50 caliber guns are available from VQ Warbirds also. You can replace all the tubes that they have coming out with these. I think it adds to the look of it. I will also provide in the kit for the tail gunner and the nose gun some different barrels. These are actually the barrels with the holes in them all the way around. These will be for to put in the nose turret and the tail turret, so it makes them look a little bit better than just putting the tubes in it. Anyway, this adds a lot of character to your model. There's really not much you can do to the tail turret because it's so small you can't see in there. I might just add a bust to that. But anyway, as always, you can get a hold of me at my information to get a hold of me is on my web address at tiesplanes.com. The cockpit kits will be available from VQ Warbirds.